All right, you're going to go nice and slow with me here today because women will only respect the men who make them feel like they are not a priority. So, I have some real life experience to share with you. I have some real life dating experience to share with you from my own personal dating life. On top of that, we just crossed over 1,840 members inside of our community. I'm helping these guys learn, understand, and master the language of women. And I'm watching so many guys get success in their dating life. I know I can help you too. So be sure to join us inside of that after today's video is over. But let's dive in, okay? What you have to know every single day, if you go out on a date, every single day, if you're in a relationship, every single day about your own life when you are interacting with women is this: female nature and commitment do not go hand in hand. Female nature and commitment do not go hand in hand. When you want to commit to a woman and when you want her to commit to you, she looks at it as somebody trying to obtain her desire level, which naturally makes her repulsed. So if she senses that a man wants to obtain her desire level, she feels like the relationship is not naturally just smooth and easy. She gets repulsed and she pulls away. So last night I was hanging out with this woman, and she told me that she was always in two situations for her whole life. So she was, I think, 26 or 27, and she said, yeah, all the guys lie that she ends up being with, they all lie. Or down the road, she finds out there's another woman, so things don't work out, or she feels like she can't trust him. But she stays anyways because she goes, well, she sees that, but then she goes, I don't know what to do because I like you. Okay, so this is situation number one. And then all of a sudden, naturally, nonchalantly, she just casually mentions, yeah, but then when things are going good, I just self-sabotage. And then I go, oh, so you don't like when they commit to you? And then she laughs and laughs and laughs. But basically what she meant by this is that the guys who commit to her, she ends up leaving them. She does not like the men who commit to her. This is what you have to know. So women spend the majority of their 20s and 30s in this situation, okay? Chasing around guys who lie to them and lead them on that a relationship is coming. And then every single time they have a relationship with a man who wants a future with her, they leave. And then they just spend their 20s and 30s in this situation repetitively. So this is just how they are, okay? Just like an apple can never be an orange, and an orange can never be an apple, female nature just is the way that it is. So you have to learn this and see this for yourself to just accept these truths. Women spend majority of their 20s and 30s in this situation sleeping with the men who lie to them and will not commit to them. Or maybe they lie and they say things like, oh, you know, you're the only woman for me. You're the only woman that I could see a future with. Okay, but then she finds out that he's seeing somebody else. Okay, that's what I mean by that. And then they leave the guys who actually do commit to them. So then they just find themselves single almost forever. Okay, so let's move on to this column right here. You were told that women want relationships your whole life. You were told this. This is false. Because if you see this play out in your own dating life, this is just not true. They don't want relationships because when they have a relationship, they naturally are repulsed. So even if they claim they do, they don't, because if you look at their actions, it's polar opposite to what they claim they want. What they really want is they only want the illusion of a relationship with a man who gives them false words of hope and leads them on. That's what they want. They only want the illusion of a potential relationship, of what might be. That would be called a mystery, waiting for the next thing to happen. They only want the illusion of a relationship with a man who gives them false words and false hope. When it comes to the reality in relationships, you have to understand that they do not even see the real world of relationships in front of them. They only see words, they only see the illusions and the stories and the narratives that they want to tell themselves. The narrative that she tells herself in her mind is the thing that she will buy into. Her own narrative, okay? So here's what you have to understand. It truly is getting worse by the year when it comes to dating right now. It's getting harder and harder. Every year it's getting worse, okay? When I look at, different relationships I had from 5, to 7 or 8 years ago, it was way different a lot of times because women didn't have access as much to online dating apps because it was not as popular, so there wasn't as big of an inflow of attention. right now the thing is like, if a woman, goes out or, casually or nonchalantly just sees a few different men at a time, to them it's about as effortless and meaningless as sitting back eating an ice cream cone. That's just how it is, okay? What you have to understand is it's getting worse by the year, and women move to bigger cities with club life and dating apps, and this is the cycle that they're constantly in, is self-sabotaging when there's a relationship, which literally just means either leaving or cheating. And then the guys that she likes, she only likes them because they have sold the illusion of a relationship with false hope and false words and false narratives and false stories. So you have to basically prioritize your own life, your own fun, your own goals and happiness 24/7 for her to want to keep seeing you. You have to genuinely not care. You have to genuinely not care about anything. From what I see, it goes even deeper. You have to really pursue your own natural masculine dating or mating strategy of accessing dating options with multiple women or multiple companions that you could have, constantly proving that your SMV, your dating value, is still high. This is what you have to do. How do I know that you have to do this? Because the guys who don't do this are severely punished. They will tell themselves they have a girlfriend only to find out she's cheating, or only to find out that she's constantly securing backup options. These backup options are always in the back of her mind, and there's always a screen in front of her, which is her cell phone, constantly telling herself that someone else is out there who could be better. Well, you have to understand that with that amount of options, it's going to be extremely hard to even desire to commit to a man, even if he checks all the boxes, because there's always that what if factor if something is better out there for her. So if you provide her a lot of texting, like if you prioritize a lot of texting, a lot of calling, and just a lot of communication in general, giving her the certainty that you think she wants, it's over. You can't give them any certainty that you really want a relationship with them. They don't like this. And you're just going to find yourself constantly wondering what happened. So you have to really just focus on you your whole life. And that's how you do it. And when I say you, I'm not just saying always your own fun. A lot of times it's your own things in your life that will help level up SMV, your dating value, right? Prioritize all the things that will help increase that status and that attractiveness. So what I want to do for a second in this video today is I want to actually focus on the words that she said during her conversation with me, because what I do when I'm talking to a woman is I will pick up on the words of frustration. So the 3 circles in red right here, or what is written down in red marker, these are going to be the things that we're going to focus on at a deep level. So the first word here that she used the word breadcrumb. Okay, this was the first word of frustration that I noticed. She said it's like they breadcrumb you along, or breadcrumbing. This is what she said. So this was a word that she used to describe her frustration last night. Okay, she said something along the lines of they breadcrumb you along so you think that something will come of it. So what that tells me that women absolutely hate being led on by a guy where she believes that a relationship will form when it doesn't. What this also tells me is this is like the one and only thing that actually triggers feelings of what they call real love. Okay? I'm going to say that one more time. This is like the only thing that triggers a feeling of them that they can potentially obtain real love. This idea of breadcrumbing, okay, or being led on. They don't want the real relationship. They want the illusion of a future relationship that possibly could happen with this specific guy, only to be let down that it didn't. To a woman, that is love. That's how love works, and that's how love exists. I don't make the rules. I just pay very close attention and I observe. So if you lead her on to thinking a real relationship will come of it, but you never commit, it's their biggest frustration, okay? And this shows that they fall in love with uncertainty. What this breadcrumbing is uncertainty. Is a relationship going to come or not? Yes or no? That uncertainty keeps her in love. Okay? So you really cannot commit to them, or that uncertainty and that fantasy and that narrative, that storybook dissolves and the storybook is over. So here's what I really want to tell you. Okay? It's very hard for men to start the process of purposefully demonstrating uncertainty. Even for me, it's pretty hard to do this, because as soon as you go to a date, there's probably some perceived interest or some attraction. This is going to be hard for anybody, okay? It's hard for men to start the process of purposefully demonstrating uncertainty, because the fact that you took time to see her in the first place is because of your attraction level. So this is why it's like, the saying is you're caught between a rock and a hard place, right? It's like, so you want me to show up and give uncertainty even though I showed up to this date because I find you attractive and you probably find me attractive. It's very tough, okay? But let's go back to this right here. We're going to go back to this word breadcrumbing. Now, when I looked at all of my dating experiences over the past 10 or 11 years, and I look at how most guys move and how most guys operate, because, for example, we do now have, 1,840 plus guys inside of our community. So I see a lot of stories, I see a lot of examples. Let's go back to this word breadcrumbing. What I did after I heard all this is I said to myself, based off all my experiences, based off of all of her experiences, and based off of everything that I'm seeing, and based off of everything that she's telling me, how does this happen naturally without effort? Because if you haven't noticed by now, I am all about not putting in a lot of effort to certain things and still getting the result that I want. Okay, so back to, how does this happen naturally with low effort? Because here's the thing, if you're purposefully trying to demonstrate any uncertainty, I'll go as far as to say this, if you're purposefully doing anything, there's a degree of effort. And women like things effortless. So I said, how does this happen naturally? Okay, how does it happen naturally? Okay, here's how it happens. He meets her, okay, when women find themselves in this situation where they like a guy and they want him to commit, here's how it happens naturally. He meets her, okay, and he doesn't find her the most attractive and is not really into her. So I'm going to say that one more time. He does not find her very attractive. Maybe she is good enough on the attraction level to hang out with, but it's not like he really is invested into her, probably because of beauty and personality combined. So he doesn't find her the most attractive and he's not into her. And what that means is he doesn't have other options or anyone better. Okay, so let's focus on this part right now. Why does he keep hanging out with her? Why does he keep seeing her? Because even though he doesn't find her the most attractive, at this current point in his life, he does not have any other better options. That's how this uncertainty is created naturally. So what he does is the guy says, well, this will do for now. We'll hang out together for a while. Maybe we'll sleep together for a while. But I don't really care if she leaves. I don't really care if I never hear back from her, because I'm not really that into her. And this is how it happens, because she sees that it's literally impossible for her to get this guy to fall in love. She sees that it is impossible for her to get this guy to fall in love because her beauty level isn't where it needs to be for him. Now, it might be a 10 out of 10 for a different guy, but for this one guy specifically, for whatever reason, it's just not there. And that creates the feeling of love. Okay, it's the uncertainty. When I look at my situations and everybody else's situations, this is typically how it plays out, and this is typically how it happens. Is you're like, well, this will do for now. I will hang out with her for a couple months maybe, until I find someone hotter, okay? And women hate feeling like this, because eventually it's over. And that right there is what they mean by, I was led on, I was breadcrumbed. Very rarely does this happen on purpose. A lot of times, the best examples of this, where the women really feel like it was real, was where this happened naturally, okay? So the woman defines the players as the men who do not reveal their entire interest level. This is who a woman considers a player. This happens typically when he's not really that into her in the first place, so he can act calm and natural without any effort. And here's what I can tell you. If you're not into her, she can feel that energy shift. Just like if you can tell if a woman's not into you, you can feel the energy shift, okay? You can always tell this. Truthfully, you can. I have been with women before on dates who I have sky-high interest in, and I think that they're beautiful. And I've also found that they will have interest in me. But then the reverse will happen. I have actually been with women who I don't consider that attractive, or maybe like how their profile was if we met on an app. If I thought the pictures looked better in real life, maybe there's some times where I didn't really think it was a good fit for me, or my attraction level was not very high. And in even some of those times, okay, where you would think that, oh, you know, I clearly have good dating value in her eyes, even though I'm not even necessarily attracted to her, I might not even be her type too. So it really just depends on every situation and how the woman views you and how you meet her attraction level, okay? And vice versa. So that's how it works. If you don't reveal your interest level, now she thinks that your SMV and your dating value is higher. And here's the thing, every single date that I go on obviously is real life experience. Okay, every single time I hang out with a new woman, or you know, I'm dating somebody, I obviously use this channel to explain to you how women's mind typically operates, and this is what I see. And I know how this works because I've been doing this for a lot of years, and that right there is why you need to learn, understand, and master the language of women, because inside of my community, I teach this better than anybody. I truly believe I'm the best at this. I truly believe I deliver the best results at this. And truthfully, I believe that I could do this, what I do, and help guys get results better than anyone, so much to the point where it doesn't matter if I wore a suit and tie, or I wore a tank top, or I wore my pajamas 7 days a week. I know the level of material that I can deliver inside of that, and I know how in-depth I teach when it comes to the language of women. So hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Join us inside of that, and we'll see you in the next one.